See Red Nation, what's good? Breeze Nation, what's poppin', man? I'm going to give you my Chicago Bulls' biggest takeaways from Summer League, and it starts right now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So here's the thing, right? A lot of things that we can take away from this Summer League, but the things that I want to key in on, my biggest takeaways that are going to impact the Chicago Bulls, not only this season, but moving forward. First thing I looked at, right? Dalen Terry's impact. He's our number 18 overall pick. What is his impact going to be on the Chicago Bulls? And we've seen Dalen Terry these last couple of Summer League games have his best offensive output. And AK talked about in an interview, and I've said it a couple of times on here and on Locked On Bulls. Make sure you guys are checking out both shows from us, that AK came out and said, hey, listen, we want him to look for his shot and find a pass off of that shot, but we want him looking for his shot offensively to bring a little bit more of that offensive flair to the bench. Now, coming off the bench, right, you're not going to see Dalen Terry have this same level of offensive output. You're not going to see him scoring 20 points, 25 points, stuff like that off of the bench. He might have a pop-off game here or there, but I don't think that's going to be a consistent asset for the Chicago Bulls. But the thing that I love about Dalen Terry is you're bringing somebody off of the bench who can play next to Ayo Dosunmu or possibly behind Ayo Dosunmu, depending how Lonzo Ball ends up healing from this injury, right? We don't know what's still what's going on with that. We know he's not progressing quickly, but you're going to get Dalen Terry off of the bench doing the little things that the Bulls need, very much like an Alex Caruso can do, right? And giving you that versatility not only on the offensive end, but also on the defensive end. That's going to be key for the Bulls bench scoring this season. The Bulls are one of the worst bench scoring teams last season, mostly due to injury, right? Like when all your bench pieces are in the starting lineup, you're going to be one of the worst teams in bench scoring. But the thing that I keyed in on with Dalen Terry in this Summer League is not just the fact that he can score the ball these last couple of games and that he's really good going downhill and getting to the bucket, fighting through the contact and getting to the finish, but it's the intangibles, tipping passes, making it tough for guys, cutting off guys' easy accesses. A lot are doing a great job, right? We've seen it multiple times. He's doing a great job initiating the double team and doing a great job containing on that double team, making it hard for guys to either have to take a timeout or a turnover ends up ensuing. I love that we're seeing that from Dalen Terry here early on. It's all those intangibles, right? And we've seen kind of a little bit of that leadership that he's got, and he brings a toughness. I've said this many a times, right? And last season, it was a big thing for me. Who's the glue guy? Who's the tough guy? Who's the guy that's going to be the one that's in your face? Who's the guy that's going to be the one that's going to make you, oh, now we're playing the mental game. We're talking trash back and forth. Let's see how this goes, right? That guy for this Chicago Bulls team seems like it's going to be Dalen Terry because he's just got that kind of mindset. He's just got that kind of attitude. And I think he brings that off the bench immediately this season, as well as all of the court vision, right? I love the court vision of him. I think he's got to get a little bit better, and I think his passing will get a little bit better if he's throwing the ball to Zach LaVine and not Carlik Jones. But when you see Dalen Terry's vision, when you see every turnover that he had, right, I could see the pass he was trying to make. There's a couple of times where he threw it right to a defender, but I could see the pass that he was trying to make, and it's like, a lot of those were just like he's throwing it, it's tipped off the hands because it's too tough of a pass for that level of player to make, and it ends up going the other way. But for me, right, I feel like Dalen Terry brings all of those little things to the Chicago Bulls that you want to see, and I want to see what he's going to be able to do this season. He feels like he's going to be a really good pickup at the 18th pick in the draft, but y'all know me, right? Like Summer League tells me one thing, and then in the season is a whole different world. So we'll see what he ends up developing into. Now, before I continue with the video, I do want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. What are your biggest takeaways from Summer League this year? And how are you feeling heading into the season about the pieces that we have? Here's the other thing that I really took away from Summer League. When I'm looking at a Marko Simonovic, we're seeing moments where he's being more aggressive. We're seeing moments where he's getting to the bucket, where he's finishing through contact. I think the hand strength might need to be strengthened a little bit more because he will lose the ball around the rim, but his ability to finish through contact, his ability to draw fouls, you can tell that the gain in weight is really going to help him defensively this season. And I think he's going to be a backup four for us. So I'm really excited to see kind of what he's going to bring to the table this offseason, at least in Summer League, though. We haven't seen a lot of guys move him around. I mean, we saw Sims from the Knicks kind of move him around, who's a third-year player, I believe, in that Knicks organization. But to me, Marko Simonovic has really done a good job with the physicality of the NBA. He's really done a good job with the ability to rebound through that physicality. And I think that, listen, our biggest problem last year was size. If Marko can do anything close to that, I think he had like 13 and 10 in the third quarter. I said, that's what I want. I don't need nothing else from Marko off of the bench right now except that. That's what I want. Whatever he develops into long term, that's long term. But right now, this season, we needed size off of the bench, and Marko Simonovic couldn't, or I gotta stop saying his name like that. Marko Simonovic couldn't give us that off of the bench last season. And so to me, if you add that in with the fact that you've also got Andre Drummond and Nikola Vucevic, this Bulls team's biggest weakness in rebounding down low could become their biggest strength this season. And especially with the fact that you're going to pair him up next to Andre Drummond, who's going to take on more of the defensive role, more of the defensive deficiencies that Marko Simonovic is going to struggle with, right? I think that that's going to be a great pairing for the Chicago Bulls. It's probably the reason we didn't see them go after a 4 this offseason. And I can't wait to see what that's going to look like, man. But I mean, as much as people talked about, Andre Drummond's not going to be able to do all of this offensively, that's the point of having a team. And if you're talking about a guy like Dalen Terry, who's clearly shown that he can score getting downhill, Marko Simonovic, who's definitely shown that he could score, even last year in the G League shown that he can score, it's about how can he put it together in the NBA now. And so for me, I'm really excited to see what Marko is going to bring to this team as the backup 4 behind P. Will. And I think that that's going to be a nice bench rotation for the Chicago Bulls. Now, a couple of other small takeaways that I have, right? I think Malcolm Hill is going to end up making the team. I think he'll be on the G League getting that 2-way deal. He's already got the qualifying offer out there for him. So I think he'll end up being on that G League team. And then I think Justin Lewis will end up getting that last 2-way deal. But I want to see what he can do, right? I think he's going to spend more time down in the summer league after seeing him kind of I'm sorry, not in the summer league, in the G League after seeing him in the summer league, because I feel like he's got game. I feel like he's got strength. I feel like he can attack the bucket. I feel like he can be what we hoped that EJ Liddell was going to be for the Chicago Bulls. But I do think that there's a little bit more that he needs to add to his game. But I'll say this, definitely a strong kid defensively. You saw those 2 blocks on Mark Williams yesterday. And here's the other thing, right? Maybe it's just that I haven't seen it. The summer league is a weird league. I keep saying this, right? You're not seeing a lot of the main guys take a ton of shots, because they're trying to see what everybody can do. Coming into game 5 here of Summer League, I would absolutely sit Dalen Terry. I would sit Marko Simonovic. I would play Justin Lewis and say, you're the focus on this team. Show us what you can do offensively, because you also have to talk about what Makur Maker has been doing for the Chicago Bulls. And you have to ask the question like, while I like Justin Lewis and I really think he can bring something to the game, is Makur Maker more ready to be on that 2-way deal? Because I love what we've seen out of him. I mean, his handles have really shown out here in Summer League. His ability to shoot the ball over bigger guys and through contact. He's 6'10", by the way, 6'11", possibly even. His ability to get downhill, his strength around the bucket, his rebounding ability, his ability to dunk the ball through contact, to finish through contact. I really like what I've seen from Makur Maker, and we just haven't seen a ton from Justin Lewis. Now, I think Justin Lewis will end up getting that second 2-way deal because AK really coveted him coming out of college, and the Bulls for him to sign kind of on with the Bulls is huge for Justin Lewis, because he was one of the highest, like everybody wanted Justin Lewis on their team because of his upside and ability. And I think he will turn into that piece, but you have to find a way to try and keep Makur Maker on this team, even if it's just on a G League deal. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. I think he's shown enough that he'll probably get offered a contract somewhere else. We'll probably be talking about Makur Maker playing somewhere else this season and possibly in the future end up getting on with an NBA roster. And we're going to look at it and be like, man, we had this guy. But I also think Justin Lewis holds similar upside on that, just based on the things we've seen from him, right? The defensive ability. He had Mark Williams stuck yesterday twice, back-to-back plays, right? Mark Williams couldn't do anything around the rim. Mark Williams is supposed to be one of the strongest centers in this draft. And then on top of that, right, Justin Lewis' ability driving to the bucket, you don't want to see him there. He's able to put you on a poster. And I think the spot-up shot and the jump shot will come. We just haven't seen a ton of it in Summer League, so I would love to see him in at least one more game in this Summer League to see what his ability is going to be. The other guy that was interesting, and I know a lot of Bulls fans were looking at, was Carlik Jones. I like his game. I feel like he's definitely a shoot first guard, though. More so trying to attack the bucket, more so trying to finish than he is trying to get the offense initiated. And I think at times, right, like in that first summer league game, was that the first or the second? It might have been the first summer league game, right, where it was back and forth. You know, we had an opportunity where we definitely could have lost the game because he just wanted to put up that final shot. And I know there's nerves. I know you're trying to make an impression. I know you're trying to, it's summer league, right? Like he's just trying to make a team, but I like his ability to shoot the ball. I like his ability to get downhill and attack. I just don't know if those things fit for the Chicago Bulls right now as another guard that we're already going to have. Then we've got a ton of them that already kind of can do that same thing. So to me, Carlik Jones does end up, I think, on a NBA two-way somewhere, but I don't think it'll be with the Chicago Bulls. I think those are kind of all my biggest takeaways. Freeman Liberty really hasn't shown me enough to say that he's going to be, he might be a Windy City Bull, right? He seems like a guy who definitely has the ability to get to a certain point where he can be at NBA level, but I don't think he's there yet. So I can see him being on the Windy City Bulls this year, maybe get some nice plays out of him. I don't really think there's really been anybody else who stood out to me in Summer League thus far. Maybe we'll see somebody down the road, right? But everybody else seems like they've kind of been just pieces to fill out the team and to take a look at. So I think you know, you're going to see the same guys that we've been saying all summer league on this Bulls team. Justin Lewis, Dalen Terry, of course, got his contract. Marco's, of course, under contract. Malcolm Hill, I think, will end up getting that other two-way. Find a way to keep McCourmaker. Find a way to keep McCourmaker. Find a way to keep McCourmaker. But man, I do want to know how you guys feel, man. What are your biggest takeaways from Summer League this year? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.